Well, hey, Nick and Rebecca, thanks so much for carving out a few minutes. I'm so glad that you guys got connected to Catalyst Church. It was a joy a few months ago having you guys and about 16 other people over for dinner one night. And we got to sit around the dinner table and talk. So I loved getting to know you over that night, and excited to hear some of your story. So just tell me a little bit of a story about how God has used someone at Catalyst Church to encourage you guys and bless you guys.
There are a number of people that come to mind. So I'm going to start, I think, with the first person that we met at Catalyst, which was Laura Bristow.
Yeah.
Welcomed us on our first day that we came. And we actually came with my dad. And it was right when we had moved here. We didn't know anyone at all. We had visited another church and looked at a few online, but we hadn't had that welcoming experience. But when we got to Catalyst, and Laura immediately connected with us, and she recognized that we were military, put us in touch with Becca Holmes, who then, had the military wives group. And it just like having her be such a warm, welcoming person on our first day there was amazing.
Yeah, that hospitality and greeting team, they do a phenomenal job.
Yeah, that was a huge deal.
So can you guys describe a moment during your time at Catalyst so far that's been an encouraging memory or story?
Do you want to go, or do you want me to?
I can, yeah. So shortly, I'm unfortunately working a lot more, and it's hard for me to get involved in Catalyst Church, which is frustrating. But one day we're sitting there and we were just kind of talking back and forth with some people, and it was mentioned that they needed some help on the setup team. And within seconds, I was getting emails about, hey, so this would be a great time for you to show up, and this is what we have going on. And it was really encouraging to see a group of people that were so involved in their own church. Now they go, oh, this guy wants to help out. Let's do this. And within, a week later, I was helping set up, and then on the team, and everyone invited me like I'd been there forever, and it was a fantastic experience. I loved it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember before the quarantine, getting to walk through the hallways, and you and Roger and Greg and AJ and Weston and others, helping set up. So man, appreciate the ministry and volunteer teams so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as you guys have been around Catalyst for a little while, what was a moment when you were proud to be a part of Catalyst Church? I mean, you said, this is good. This is good. This is what we're really all about.
I think for me, it was on a very personal level because I connect better with people one-on-one than in groups. And it was, I think a couple months ago maybe, that I got a text from Becca that just said, hey, I'm praying about you, about this thing that I had mentioned offhandedly. And it was like, my gosh, she remembered that. She took it to heart, and she took the time to pray for me. And ever since then, all the women in the military wives group have, we have a text chain going all the time.
Yeah.
We can vent our frustrations, but like pray for each other and encourage each other in the trials that it is being married to the military. And just knowing that they're always praying for me was something I hadn't experienced in a church before, that people would care about my troubles and what was going on in my own life and remember it and pray for me every week.
That's awesome. I've been so encouraged to watch from a distance that military wives community group.
Yeah.
And it really reminds me of Paul in Philippians and in many of the letters. Physical distance for him was an invitation to prayer. And so he sees the distance to pray for one another. So can you tell us a story about, and maybe that was it, or when you thought, okay, we found our church. We're excited to jump in and get plugged in at Catalyst.
So there were a lot of times when I felt that way when we first started showing up. We showed up and we were looking for a church that was had some progressive music choices that were more modern, but also some mixture of hymns, which we had that. We were also looking for a small town church. And I grown up forever in these large mega churches, and it wasn't until my wife introduced me to a smaller church closer to home that I started to enjoy that feel. So we felt that pretty early on. But for me, what really solidified it for me personally was the connectedness between the church and the military lifestyle, which for me, 14 years in the military, has always seemed like almost a dichotomy. Either you're military or you're a Christian, but they're never merged together. And seeing so many people that were not only current military or prior military, but understood the lifestyle and understood some of the frustrations associated with it, but we're still actively trying to be Christians and live a Christian lifestyle was a big moment for me. So that's one of the biggest things that really connected me with Catalyst. And I knew that these were the people that I wanted to worship with.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Rebecca, anything you'd add?
I think mine, I've already talked about the Military Wives group a lot, but for them, all of the women, Sam, Annalise, Haley, Emily, Sarah, like everyone has been really great. And yeah, just amazing. So
Anything else you guys would say to the Catalyst Church community, family, or maybe somebody that's just kind of drifting in this season of quarantine and they're kind of drifting maybe in the wrong direction? Anything you'd say?
I mean, I would say, stay connected. The biggest thing that we found is, it's so easy to wake up Sunday morning and go, well, I'm not really, don't really have to go to church today. And then kind of forget to be involved and to participate in the worship service and continue to discuss and connect. So, I mean, that's a big one for me, especially right now during the quarantine, is just stay there, stay connected. Just like Paul, I've even preached about Jeff, is Paul stayed connected despite the fact that he was in prison. And that's kind of unfortunately where we are now, not necessarily in prison, but definitely disconnected physically, but remaining connected spiritually.
Yep.
I agree. And reach out to people, because not everyone will say, I need help, or I feel lonely, or whatever. I know I'm like that. So sometimes people have to prod me a couple of times until I say, I actually feel this way. I'm not just, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So I would say, reach out to people and be kind.
That's a great reminder. Well, Nick and Rebecca, thanks so much for carving out a few minutes of your time. I am thrilled that you guys are plugged in at Catalyst Church and can't wait to get back together and worship together and see what the Lord has in store.
Us too.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks.